Music has always been part of my life. My parents are both they love music. My mom was always singing when I was younger. We definitely had a lot of records that we listened to over the years, and my dad would turn them into tapes to play in the car and listen to on road trips and stuff. And it's always been something that's been there. So it's always been something that I loved to be a part of. We had this old organ in our basement that my mom tried teaching me piano on at one point. I did not like piano very well. Didn't take to it so much. But I was always interested in instruments, and it was funny because my brother, he's older than me, and he would always ask for something, and then I'd be the one who learned how to play it. So like we got a guitar to share when I was like 10, and he did not learn it at all. Then I was the one who wanted to start playing it. Or at one point he got a drum kit for Christmas, completely ignored it. I was downstairs like learning how to play. I came home one day and it was gone because my brother wasn't playing it, so they took it back. But it's always been part of my life. It's always been in the car, in the house when we're cleaning on Saturday, or my mom's singing in the kitchen while she's cooking. And so it's always been like a strong piece of me. I've always loved having music around, and yeah. I've been writing poetry since I was about 10 or 12. Somewhere in between there, I started writing poetry. So I always loved writing. And then I went to school for music, for vocal music, to St. Thomas Aquinas Performing Arts School. And I guess probably around like 15, when I started school there, was when I really realized I wanted to write music, and that it was something that I needed to do to get out. Because like I always put all my thoughts and my feelings into my words, and so when I started singing at school, I wanted a way to express my own thoughts, my own feelings through music. So when we ended up actually learning guitar. We had like this after-school program that we had to do to learn guitar. So I learned a couple chords, and then like the intro to Dust in the Wind, and they told me I didn't have to come back anymore because I could learn the rest on my own if I wanted to. So that was when I really started writing my own music and realized that I wanted to make my own music. And guitar was, I think, the biggest kicker for that, because I found I can take the poetry that I write and put it with my guitar and put it with the music that I was playing. So that was really the start. That was really like the push forward for that. But music has always been something that I loved doing. Like even when I was younger, I used to sing all the time. I loved Britney Spears for some reason when I was like 7. And one of my best friends, she used to tell me to shut up all the time. Tell me that I couldn't sing, and then now she loves coming to see me perform and play. So to be fair, I wasn't very good at 7, so. A lot of the beginning songs that I wrote, I would just kind of sit down with the guitar and start playing and then sing, and whatever came out, I just write it down really fast because I didn't want to forget it. But most of the time, the music that I write, it's at the same time, so I would write the guitar and sing at the same time, and I wouldn't really consciously think of what I wanted to write. It would just, whatever I felt, whatever came out was what I would write. Now that I'm older, I think, especially at my work, because I had so much time like alone, and like I worked in a shop, so it was very loud, so no one else could hear me, so I would just start singing to myself. Singing like melodies and words, and then I'd come home and try and find something to go with it on the guitar. But usually I play the guitar and hear something, and then I find the words from there. But a lot of my stuff now, I guess it is kind of heavy, depressing sometimes. My mom always tells me that she wants me to write happier songs, but a a lot of that is just drawn from the experiences that I've gone through over the last, I guess, seven years. Went through kind of not the best time. I was in an abusive relationship for 2 years, so that really influences a lot of my music and like the repercussions from that and the things that I'm still healing from. Music is really a way for me to heal and to get over those things. So it really, that's in my music a lot too, is how I'm dealing with the healing. And I think, a lot of it is just, I don't know, it just comes out. It's hard to, like, I don't really have a process where I sit down and I'm like, I'm going to write a song. It's just whatever comes out that day comes out. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes I toss it to a side. Like, no more. But yeah. In the beginning, it was just I hoped to make people happy when they heard my music. Or, like, even if it's a sad song, sometimes you can find happiness in sad songs just because you feel like someone else is connecting with you. So I think that, especially for my music now, I really hope that people can connect with it and feel like they're not the only ones going through these things, or that they, they have a voice, that they connect with it on some level that makes them feel whole. Because music has always made me feel whole. It's always something that has given me a place to express myself and to feel loved and connected to other people. So I hope other people feel loved and connected through my music. The first place that I really performed was my high school, because I was in the music pathway. So there was a lot of performances there, with whether it be choir or cabaret nights, like kind of like a talent show where you can go and showcase your music. And then when I really started performing for other people outside my high school, that was at a place called Green Cup in downtown Brampton, which is not there anymore, but that was like a second home for me. That was a place where I met so many artists and amazing people and really grew. And mostly now I play open mics, or like a Wonderfest was the most recent show that I played. I do have a live album from a show that I played at Door 55. But mostly it's open mics right now that I've been playing. Like Little London Cafe, there's an open mic every Wednesday that I like to play at, and Cucullin's, Matt Zaddy's open mic is a really wonderful place to share your art and talent, whether it be music or poetry or comedy. Everyone likes to come out there. So those are kind of the places that I like to share. It's hard to think about what I would tell a younger me, because she's still there. She's still in there, like all the different ages of myself, and they still communicate with me every day. We're always different ages telling ourselves, like talking to ourselves and trying to motivate ourselves. But I think I tell her to go to guitar class more. Mostly just to not worry so much, and I guess older Molly can use that advice too, not to worry so much. Yeah, I feel like she already knows everything that she needs to. She's always had, like, my mom. I feel like I just sound like my mom if I was trying to talk to younger me, and she'd ignore me, because no one wants to listen to their mom when they're a teenager. But yeah, mostly just to keep pushing and to stay strong, because things will work out, and that I'm proud of the woman she's become. Because, for a lot of us, I think we worry that we're not going to become the people that we want to be. And when we get older, we lose sight of who we thought we were going to be. And we forget that the people that we want to be are in there. We're still in there. And that you can be anything you want to be any day. and we lose sight of that. So I think I'd tell her that. I definitely have days where it doesn't feel like anything's working and I feel like nothing's coming out. Last night was one of those days. But usually I'll replay through all my other songs, all my old songs I've written, I'll play those over, and I just give myself the time that I need because I know it'll come when it needs to. So I'll usually fill that time with other things. Like I make sculptures, or I like to paint with charcoal. I also love crocheting and origami. I just love making things, so if I'm not making something music-wise, I'll make other things. Or I think one of the biggest things that gives me like a boost of creativity is if I listen to other people's music, because that gives me more motivation, and I really just try to ride the wave. I try to like focus on other things, because then when I'm focusing on something else, all of a sudden, bam, an idea will pop in my head, or, you know, I learned that it's better not to fight it. I used to get very upset with myself if I couldn't think of anything to write. And I realized that I just gotta let it flow when it wants to come and when it's not there. 'Cause it's almost like it's not you in a way. Like there's like a little magic genie in your brain that just kind of gives you these little gifts every once in a while, and sometimes they're amazing and sometimes they're a little mediocre, but they're gifts nonetheless. And I just learned that, you know, like Christmas and your birthday, they're not all the time. They're, you know, once in a while they'll happen. But I'm constantly writing poetry or something else. It doesn't have to be music. I'm always creating something. I find as long as I'm creating something, I can really stay focused on myself and my true self and who I want to put out into the world and share with people. Right now, I'm actually working on my third album. So the first album was like in my friend's living room, and the second album was a live album. So right now, I'm writing the music for the third album that I want to make. I'm still in the writing process, so I haven't really thought about recording-wise or anything yet, but that is the next thing that I'm planning on doing right now. And hopefully more shows like West Edge, like what Arlene does with Wonderfest. I just want to share my music with people. When I was young, wished to be strong, like my daddy, like my brothers, like my mom. When I was young, wished to be grown, dreaming of my own home. Playing house with my friends, playing tag and hide and seek, now all I search for is me. Trying to find some peace, when I was was young, wished to be strong, like my daddy, like my brothers, like my mom. Didn't know it come with so much pain. Now I long for younger days, playing house with my friends, playing tag and hide and seek. Now all I search for is me. Trying to find some peace, when I was young, wished to be grown. Now there's aching in my bones, ain't that how time goes? Ain't that growing old? Ain't that growing old? When I was young, wished to be strong, like my daddy, like my brothers, like my mom. Didn't know it come with so much pain. Now I long for younger days, now I long for younger days. How I wish for longer days.